today I am going to address a comment slash question that was posted up on the YouTube channel under the video that I did yesterday that asked, why do black men demand that women, when women point out a problem that they have, that women provide them with solutions to the problem, and the drama that they have created? I thought that was very interesting, so I decided to talk about it. But anyway, a young man posted a comment about that video, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, I've been listening to Ms. Cooper for a while now, as I feel that she first, the most part, is unbiased, even though she sees situations through the eyes of a woman, which she should. Yeah, I mean, if I saw them through like the eyes of a bunny rabbit or something, we might have a problem. Here's my concern, he continues. Why do black women always use the acts of niggas against black men? Men don't live off their women. Men take care of and help raise their children. Men provide for their families. Men don't break the law. Men don't have a bunch of baby mamas. Men have goals and are ambitious. And these are just basic expectations. Why not discuss the issue that women have with men? It seems that most of the issues our women have are with niggas. And all men plead, beg, ask, demand, scream that you women leave these males alone. And our biggest argument is that you won't do it, or you do after you're damaged. Then you want to blame the men. You don't see men conflating black women with thoughts. Why do our women always draw a parallel between black men and niggas? So I said, this is a very interesting question. And of course, he's seeing it through the eyes of a man, which I suppose he should. But men don't date women. Men don't date men. So you're not going to have the experience with the man that a woman does. Never, ever, ever. Even if you're gay, you're still not going to have it, because the guy that you're messing with is gay. And he's going to be different than a man who says that he's heterosexual and having a relationship with a woman. They're just going to be different. The responses and the attitudes, the behaviors, the treatment, everything is going to be different. So you'll never know what we're experienced, and you aren't really in a position to judge it. But I'm going to explain to you why. Why do women always use the act of niggas against black men? Okay. Looking at you, please explain to me how we're going to know the difference. Is there like some magical tattoo that you have? Do you present yourself differently? I mean, when you look around, you see, all ages of black men dressed in this hip hop fashion. Some, more so than others, sagging and whatever. But it's like everybody will be wearing Timbs and jeans, baggy jeans, and the little caps and the baseball jerseys, football jerseys and basketball jerseys, and you guys all look the same. So there's no way to tell that you're any different just by looking. Secondly, unless a woman is like at least talking to you, she's not gonna know any of the things that you set out. She's not gonna know. And even if she does talking to the dudes lie, right? Oh no, I don't have no kids. And you find out they got 3 or 4. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Knowing his ass spent 6 years in prison for doing a home invasion or some shit. Just selling drugs. Men don't live off their women. They may not, but a lot of them live off their mama. They live off their baby mama, who has hesitant to throw them out because she's under the delusion that she needs to make sure that her children have a father. So that she's in a real bind there. She's in a very conflicted situation where she's sacrificing her needs for the children to have their father. So you're not factoring in any of that either. Men have goals and are ambitious. A lot of guys talk about their goals and ambitions, but very few of them actually come to fruition. So a young woman, especially, not a veteran like me, I'm gonna be looking for what the fuck you doing. I want to see what you doing, nigga. What you doing? Versus talk. Young women who have not been taught that. Now, if they've been on my channel, of course, they do know this, but just think of all the millions who haven't. They've never heard of me. No one has told them that you look at what a man does and you ignore almost completely what he says. Go by what he does. What is the motherfucker doing? And he says he has goals, but he's sitting on the couch playing PlayStation all day or watching TV or bitching about the white man or smoking weed or, out hanging out with his buddies over somebody else's house doing all the previous things I just mentioned. He talks a get big game. He talks real good. But what you see happening is little to nothing. Some guys have good goals and they're actually working toward them, but the first little thing gets them sidetracked and they feel they get defeated and they never want to stand up and try again. They're so afraid that they're going to fail. So they never try. Then you have the women who have men like that. They love him. He's a decent dude, but once he has that moment of failure, he doesn't want to get back up. He's afraid to get back up. Then she uses all her energy trying to prop him up. What they call it, hold him down and build him up and have his back and uplift him and all that stuff. They waste years sometimes doing that. And why do they do it? Because that's what they've been trained to do. See, you're not looking at the whole thing. I mean, unless you have sisters and they can explain this kind of stuff to you, you guys don't see this. You don't get the messages about womanhood that we get. You don't get them. Your lens is about womanhood as in what you can get from it, whereas our lens is about how we should live and be and not say and wear and not wear and all of just our whole life is dictated by it's predicated upon doing things that win male approval so you can quote have a boyfriend or quote have a husband. So until a woman is free from that mentality, until she understands that you don't have to do shit for a man, you don't do nothing, you don't change anything about yourself to please him, you please you. And if he sees what you got going on and what you're doing and all your personality and your how you roll in the world, and he likes that, then he's going to come and align himself with you the way that you are, the way that you want to be. You don't ever have to dull yourself and your shine and pretend to be dumb and not have things and all the stuff that women do to try to lower themselves so that the men will feel that they're better than them and build up their ego and all that old shit. See, I'm all against that. So then you say that men don't live up. Well, I address that. Men take care of and help raise their children. Well, no, men are married. That's what men are. They're married. They have made a commitment to to the woman that they have their children with. So, taking care of and helping raising your children, yeah, but you do that within some kind of, marital situation so that your children have not only your emotional and physical commitment, they have legal protections as well. That's what you do if you're a real man. You don't go around having a baby mama. At any time, whether it's a bunch or one, you don't do that. You say men provide for their families. That is true. We are in full agreement there. But what happens when a man was doing really well providing and then suddenly he falls off? He decides to pick up a crack pipe and put down his laptop. He decides that he's going to pick up gambling. He's going to start ho-hopping. I mean, all kind of things happen where men who started off doing the things that you have on this list change. They change midstream. And so they turn into niggas. But the woman's already with them. So, yeah, she's going to be upset. And you're saying, to leave these men alone. Well, let me explain something to you. If you're a woman and you're surrounded and, you live in certain what's the word I'm trying to say? Metropolitan areas. Let's just use that term. You live in certain metropolitan areas of the country. This is what you're going to have because of the culture and the environment that that you live in. You could have as many as 3,000 or 4,000 niggas to one decent dude. And even that's questionable because the decent dude is going to be so hounded by women that they tend to slide off and go into some area that they don't need to be doing and ultimately hurt the woman that really loved him and really believed in them as being somebody special and unique. They hurt her, and so then to her he just becomes just another nigger. So what I want you to understand, Kenneth, I appreciate the fact that you see my work as unbiased because I really do try to hit both sides of the fence. I give a 360 degree view of most of the issues that I touch on. And some men say that it's against men, some women say it's against women. I mean, I get it all the time. I basically just tell people to kiss my ass and I'm going to do what I want to do. If they don't like it, they don't have to visit here. But, you're saying that these are basic expectations, and I'm sure they are. But you have to look at how men play the good guy game with women, and I know you know what I'm talking about. They come off, they might be cool for even a year or two or three, and then they start breaking out of that sheepskin and letting that wolf show once they know that they have her. It's especially prevalent when a woman is she's in a marriage and she's thinking everything's going good, and when she gets pregnant, I cannot tell you how many thousands of women have told me how their men switch up when she becomes pregnant and vulnerable. And it's like the fact that she's in a vulnerable state, they just use that to their advantage and do what the fuck they want to do. So I mean, so yeah, they were a good man at the beginning, but then they turned into a nigga, and so you have a guy who's a good guy, then all of a sudden you have your nieces over and stuff, and he decides to molest them. Well, now he just become a nigga, whereas 10 minutes before that he was still in the good guy category. I mean, there's so many things like this that happen. He gonna decide he gonna punch you one day. You've been with the nigga for 7 or 8 years. He ain't never done any shit like that before. But now he gets mad, he loses his temper, and he, slaps the shit out of you. Okay, now he's a nigga. You see what I'm saying? So you want to say like these women are just, oh look, there's a nigga. Let me go and be with him. I want to be with him versus a good man. That's the way you make it sound, and that's stupid, dude. That's not how it is. And on the young women who do choose men who aren't, on this list, you have to look at their self-esteem and the way that they were raised. I mean, if you raised in a hood and you ain't never seen a married couple and a man act right, and all you've seen is knuckleheads, well, that's your standard of manhood, knuckleheads. So if you get a knucklehead, you don't expect any different because that's all you've seen. I'm telling you, 4,000 to 1 is young women and young men are more likely to see what you call a nigger than they are to see a man of quality who's about something, a James Evans type of dude. He might not have a whole bunch of money, but he's hardworking and he takes care of his family, and he's, he cares, and he's an authority. He's romantic with his wife. He does what he's going to do with his family, even though he doesn't have a big budget. And that's what women want, that kind of commitment, that kind of ambition, that kind of drive, that kind of focus on the people in his life, in his world that he's supposed to be loving. And when the guys start off like that and then they fall off, well, what are we supposed to do about that? And why would you say that now that we supposed to know this and that you women should leave these men alone? They weren't like that when we got with them. So now what? Was we supposed to be like fortune tellers and soothsayers? We got crystal balls and shit? See, that's a ridiculous statement. And like I said, looking at the ones who do choose guys like that, that's all they know. So to them, that's normal. That is normalized niggery, fuckery, or whatever I was trying to say. And so to them, they don't know no different. But if you are a quality guy, why are you looking at those kind of women? That's not your league. So you really shouldn't have anything to say about them, because that's not the kind of woman that you want. So why are we even having this conversation? See, you worried about some shit that you don't really need to be focusing on. So now let's talk about this, this after you're damaged. Then you want to blame the men. How are you ever going to blame the men? Because they did it. No matter what kind of situation she got in, with him, the bottom line is anything that happened that was negative, way he treated her, that was his decision. So yes. And like I said, you got 3,000 men doing some nigga shit and fucking up. And then you want to say, well, why are you blaming men? Because 3,000 men versus 1. That's why. You don't get that? I mean, the fuckery is overwhelming in the black community. I call it ashiness. It's just ashiness is just so prevalent. It's just ridiculous. That's all they do. And even though they come off, they might try to come off as decent. As soon as you disagree with them or something, And this has been my personal experience. As soon as you disagree with them or tell them they're full of shit or whatever, then they want to start calling you names. You every kind of bitch hoe. You know, they want to talk about your mama. They talk about your kids. They talk about your face, your body, your age, you know, your experience, your education, your mind, your diction. I mean, anything that they can throw at you, they do it like fucking 5-year-olds. And these are men who claim that they're good men, and that's how they behave. Nothing about that. Those are niggas. Okay, so you, I mean, if you and you saying that men don't do that, you know, conflate black women with thoughts. That is so not true. I'm like, where have you been living? In some cave in the bush? Dude, it's all over Facebook. I mean, YouTube. Go on YouTube and type in black women attitudes or black women weaves or black women anything. And you'll see all the stuff. The bed witchery, they call them bed wenches. They call them thoughts, hoes, gold diggers, bitches, all kind of stuff that they call us, and they actually make video after video after video after video of it. And so you saying you don't see that, I'm like, why not? You must be walking through the world like you blind like Stevie Wonder. This shit is just ridiculous. It's just so out there. I'm like, where has he been? He comes on my channel, but you don't even see me talking about this stuff. I have played clips from videos, but I did response videos and played clips of them doing that kind of stuff and sitting there attacking women and plotting and planning how they're going to use, abuse, and hurt women verbally and physically. I've done it in several different videos. I know for a fact, you know, just recently. So I'm really confused about why you would even type that on my page when it's such a bald-faced lie. And if you really think that is true, then you need to do more research. You can even start here, like I said, but just go on YouTube and type those keywords in and see all the hundreds of videos that pop up with black men's faces on there looking crazy. So that's why our women draw a parallel between them, because you guys are one and the same. You start off as being decent, and then you rip that sheepskin off and let the fool come out. Okay, and you're demanding that women stop doing that. Well, then these women are like, well, you know, how are we supposed to be able to tell the difference? I mean, you could tell after a while, but not at first, because he's good at hiding it. If you got a sociopath, a narcissistic sociopath in your world, he's going to do everything the way that he knows you want to do, want him to do it, in order to get you, manipulate and control you into the position he wants to get you into. With religion and everything else focusing on male domination of women, do you not understand what is going on here? That's why I spend so much time telling women how to recognize bullshit ass game when it's coming their way. And then here you are saying, well, you know, we ask you and we beg, we scream and do. You need to be talking to men. That's what you need to do. You need to go to these niggas that you talking about, and you need to say, stop acting like a goddamn fool. Grow up. Pull your pants up. Comb your hair. Get that lint shit out of it. And do something with yourself. Do something that shows that you are a real man and not some nignog, ashy fool hanging on the corner smoking weed all damn day. You don't even have a damn job, or you slinging burgers or some shit. Go back to school, motherfucker, and get an education and do something sensible with yourself. You know, you guys, that's what you need to do. And so since you guys don't do that, it's like when you go to court and your friend does a crime and you're there, even though you may not have pulled the trigger, you may not have even touched any of the stolen goods. The fact that you was in the car with them and drove the vehicle, knew about it, whatever, they're going to charge your ass as an accessory to the crime. And you're going to do some time. So it's the same thing here. You want to put all the responsibility on making men act right on women. And I'm telling you, that's men's jobs. That's what men used to do for other men. If you check them, you correct them, you tell them, no, that ain't gonna fly, Holmes. You do stuff like that, and you put them in check, and you help the young ones raise them up with some kind of morals and values and an understanding of what behaviors constitute manhood and which behaviors constitute fuckery, ashery, and stupidity. But you guys don't do that. So you want to just blame women for their behavior. Well, you know, why do you be around them then? Not understanding all the stuff I just explained to you, and how women get tricked and manipulated and gamed on into being with these kind of guys because they pretend to be something that they're not. And some of them, like I said, can do it for years until they decide they don't want to do it no more, or they got everything out of you that they want to get, or you in a vulnerable position like you're pregnant, and then they feel like they don't have to keep up that pretense anymore, and then here they go. So that's what I have to say on that. And like I said, I appreciate the fact that you wrote your letter and you were very respectful. That's why I'm, putting it up here. You didn't call any names. You did everything the way that you're supposed to show respect, and you asked a question in a sensible, mature way. That's why I am responding to it. But I want you to understand, Ken, this goes a lot deeper than what you said here. Those are things that men do, certainly, but they also do a whole bunch more, and the nignogs know that, so they pretend to be those things, or they'll do it for a little while, and then they decide they're not gonna do it no more, and then a woman is stuck. So yeah, she's angry. She's resentful. She's livid that he lied to her. Her heart is broken. A bunch of things are going on, but that's why women draw a parallel between black men and niggas, because to us, you're one and the same. We never know when that sheepskin's gonna come off and the real nigga inside is gonna be revealed. And we also never know, just because you present yourself as a decent guy, that doesn't mean that you really are. We find out too much that you're not. So that's what I have to say on this topic. Dang, I'm doing a lot of videos lately. I did get the lights up in the house. Ooh, that box was so heavy, so I finally got somebody to bring it upstairs, 2 flights of stairs to my place, and I opened that box up, and then that's as far as I've gone. That's as far as I've gotten so far. But someday soon we will have a nighttime recorded video, and I will be using these lights and stands and reflectors and stuff that I got. It should be very, very nice for you guys as soon as I can get my butt in gear. But thanks for listening. I want you to all know I appreciate your support and the kind words of encouragement that you post on the channel. I love the fact that you guys are helping me spread the word so that more women can get the knowledge here. There's going on 350 videos on the channel now. I'm cranking them out. So pick 1 or 2 that you like and share it on your social media, your Twitter, your Facebook, your whatever people use these days. All right? Deb Cooper. I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.